Getting good at getting leads. It's really the lifeblood of your existence here at FFL. And why a lot of people come to FFL is because it's so robust. But in order for it to be effective, it's kind of an art form. You have to get good at it and put some effort into it. And it comes from trial and error. It's like you wouldn't try to run a marathon without water. It just doesn't make any sense. And this is a marathon. Your financial wellness depends on this. And if you don't have leads or get good at getting leads, it's going to be a struggle and it's going to be frustrating. And you're going to have a hard way to go. So it really starts from the beginning and setting yourself up for success by having a conversation with your manager in regards to your budget, where you are. Be honest, because we're going to work with you wherever you are and put you in the best position possible to succeed. Because if you don't win, we don't win. So we're going to have a conversation about your budget and what lead options are available based on that budget. And obviously, as that changes, we're going to talk about the changes that you should make to your lead flow or your diet, if you will. It's kind of like I use a lot of gym analogies at FFL. They say that the key to a good workout regimen is your diet. The key to your success here is your leads. That's your diet. So don't take it lightly. Don't try to gloss over that and rush to get on the phone or get into the home, because none of those things happen without the proper lead flow or getting good at getting leads. So it really starts with your schedule and making sure that you have enough leads. So if you're dialing like everybody else Monday and Thursday for the following 2 days, you definitely want to make sure that Sundays and sometime Tuesday night or Wednesday night, you're focused and locked in on leads. If you're smart, the best thing that you can do is, if not your entire lead flow, automate a portion of your lead flow. And you can do that a number of different ways. You can contact Sasha at leads@familyfirstlife.com. She'll send you the availability of BPLs and the availability of cities where you can actually drop mail so that leads are constantly coming in on a weekly and daily basis in most cases, so that you're not worried about that part of your lead flow, and it becomes the cornerstone of what you do. The more you can automate, the better, because it's kind of like breathing. Like, how many of you think about breathing right now? I mean, and you've been doing it literally since I started talking. So your lead should be the same way. So automate that part, and you can also do it with final expense through the various final expense vendors that we have. You can dictate the amount that you get in on a weekly basis. You can have a standing order with certain vendors. Whatever it is that you need to do and whatever your budget is, we need to put those things in place to ensure your success. If you're not at a place right now where you can automate those things, because it takes a certain amount of cash to put those things in place, and we're relying on the CRM and internet life leads, rest assured that you can still be extremely successful, because we're dumping 30, 50,000 leads into the CRM on a weekly basis, if not more often. So that's where the night before comes into play. And getting those leads. Don't wait until Monday morning, because by that time, that's why those cliches come into play. Like the early bird gets the worm. If you wait until Monday morning, when it's time to dial, two things are going to happen. You're going to be scrambling, and you're going to have to settle for what's there. And nobody wants to do that, because you want to be able to dictate the type of leads and the amount that you get. The other thing that's going to happen is, no matter how many times I say this to agents, they're still going to wait until Monday morning. And the CRM is going to be running slow, because everybody's going to be trying to get in at the same time, which makes absolutely no sense. When all you had to do was get up at 5 a.m. or stay up a little later the night before, shut that show off a little sooner, and dig into the CRM, because this is how you pay for those things anyway. So just make sure that you're putting that time in prior to. If you're running exclusively CRM leads, you want to get somewhere between 100, 150, 200 a week, because you're going to process through them. And you want to make sure that you have enough. It's kind of one of those things, gas, if you will. Like, you don't sit down and calculate the distance between point A to point B, figure out how many miles per gallon your car goes, and pull up at the gas pump with that equation and put just that amount of gas in your car. So don't do leads the same way. Just make sure that you have enough, If there's some overflow, similar to the gas tank, you'll use it for the next dial day, just like the gas you use for the next trip. So if it's exclusively CRM leads, like I said, you want somewhere between 100 and 200 a month, depending, or I'm sorry, a week, depending on the lead type. But we'll help you navigate and make that determination from there. If it's a hybrid between the two and you're doing uh, final expense orders, be it Facebook or mail orders, you want somewhere between 50, 75, 100 a week. And then you kind of tailor it from there, because what'll happen is you'll have some residual. Just because you buy 200 from the dial session on Monday doesn't mean that you use all 200. And come Thursday, you'll have some that you didn't get a hold of. Some people that said, call me back. Some people that said, call back next week, that are going to contribute to that next dial session. So, but also don't lean on those and not buy leads because you have 15, 20, 30 leads from the previous dial session that either haven't gotten a hold of or said, call me back. Stay consistent, because that's a part of the art form. Like you don't go to the gym and only do 10 reps today because you felt good on Monday and did 15 reps. So those 5 don't carry over. There's no residual there. They're there, but you still need to do that same amount of effort or that same amount of lifting to make sure that the results are consistent. And that's how you get to that consistent $10,000, $15,000 submitted business on a weekly basis and become a top producer, producing 30, 40, 50, or I mean, if you're Easton Patton, I mean, 100 grand a month. Sorry, Easton, I didn't mean to put you on blast like that. But if you're ever confused about what leads to buy or what a successful lead flow should look like, look at the leaderboard, figure out who's there, who you want to emulate, and just talk to them about their lead flow. Nobody's hiding, nobody's keeping any secrets. We all have access to the same vendors, and we want you to experience the same success, because the more successful you are, the more successful FFL is, and the more successful FFL is, the easier it is for all of us to build an agency. So just to rehash, keys to getting great leads or getting good at getting leads, you want to automate as much of it as possible, so that you don't have to think about it, to take the guesswork out of it. Always make sure that you have enough. Be prepared for your dial days. Don't wait for Monday and Thursday. Or if you're part-time, just don't wait until dial day to think about what your leads are. It should be planned out a week in advance, 2 weeks in advance, or it should be automated. If you're relying on CRM leads, set an alarm, and put it on repeat, so that either the night before, the morning before, whatever you need to do, that you're going in there to prepare for dial day and not being reliant on getting up that day, buying leads, and just having to settle for whatever's there. Because I mean, you didn't come here because you were the type of person that settled. You wanted more out of life. And the only way to do that is to get more out of this business. And going back to those cliches, the early bird gets the worm. Here, you truly do get out what you put in. So put some effort and energy into getting good at getting leads, in your business, you, your family, everyone will be rewarded exponentially. I hope that helps, and we'll see you on the leaderboard.